I always doing. Hope you guys miss me. I saw that episode last week that you guys had. Pretty good. So as you guys can probably tell from the title, big announcement. So the big announcement is that we only have basically 3 more episodes left here on the TGN network. Uh, growing up, one of my favorite guys to watch on the movies was Jeff Hardy. He wasn't even in the movies. I don't know why I said that on the TV screen. And he had this quote from when he first retired. He said that this isn't goodbye, it's see you later. So just keep that in mind.
Wasn't that Sting?
No, that was
Oh,
Jeff
so
Hardy.
Sting
Well,
stole
Sting
it.
says it.
Sting stole it.
He
Are you
says it.
serious? Does
Yeah,
he
yeah.
really say
Sting.
that?
Sting says it. That's Sting. No, remember when Sting retires and he goes, "This isn't goodbye. It's see you later."
Well, then maybe Jeff stole it then. Cause
Really? Jeff
yeah,
stole
cause
it.
cause I mean Sting's older, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, don't worry. We still have, including this episode, we still have about 3 more episodes. It'll be okay. We're trying to make these really fun. Um, but keep subscribed to Primos Chidos. See us updating. Maybe you'll see some other content.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe there's some surprises coming.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
there's
So like you said, keep an eye out for us.
yeah.
Um, but getting into this topic today, I did some research, right?
Okay, what'd you do research on?
Okay. So what interests you guys more? I did research on China's zero COVID policy.
I want to hear about
And
that. I want to hear about that
yeah,
because you were telling me
do you
about
know
it,
what it
and I
is?
don't know what's going on.
You
No.
guys don't know at all what it is?
No.
I mean, I've
Um
heard there's a bunch of shit going down, like protests over there, but I don't know specifically what.
uh okay, so basically for like China, like COVID hasn't ended and never ended.
I mean,
Like
it's
in
not ended here, right?
shut the fuck up. I feel like it basically is over.
Yeah.
Do you go throughout your day like
No, yeah, I get what you mean. But in what way is it not over there? Like it's still like everybody has it
okay,
over there.
yeah, yeah. Okay, let me get into it, right? Cuz I kept seeing like I don't know if you saw it. What really put it on my radar recently was the protests.
Mm.
Did you see that? So basically, what China has, they have a zero COVID policy, which basically means that even if like one person in one neighborhood gets COVID, they shut down the whole neighborhood and they shut down the whole city. And the reason why is because they want to keep their COVID cases down to zero. I even actually wrote this down. So if you compare their deaths, the hardest hit country in the world by COVID was the U.S., which had over 1 million deaths. In China, they've only had over 16,000. So I mean, it's working. Um, what I find a little fascinating is that they really are like firm on they don't want China to get, how there's here we have stop the spread. I even like drew it.
Mm.
They don't believe in that. They don't want COVID, period.
Yeah.
They don't want it at all. To the point that they don't even approve like a Americans vaccines. They don't have any mRNA. They don't accept any foreign ones. They haven't approved any of them. They only use their own vaccines, which don't use the mRNA technology.
Oh.
um
Mm.
I don't know, if you put your conspiracy hat on, it's kind of suspicious. Or at least that's just me. um oh yeah, and because of that, people also don't leave China. So you're kind of restricted, because if you leave and then come back, like you're usually uh quarantined in government facilities, and that basically means you have like poor living conditions. There's no beds. The lights are on 24 hours of the day. You have poor food. They literally wrote that they get plain bread. That's their food.
Mm.
For and sometimes the lockdowns last like months. It lasts until there's no more cases at all, no more new infected people. So it's pretty hardcore. So like I said, what put it on my radar was the protests. So protests in China are like super rare. Like rarely ever happen, because the last time a big like public protest happened was the
Tiananmen Square, right?
yeah, yeah, where they basically executed like a lot of people. And the reason why the protest started recently was because there was an apartment fire in China that killed 10 people. And
Mm.
the people say that the reason they died was because of the strict lockdowns, that they were forced to basically stay in the building as it was on fire.
Wow.
What's
Damn.
even weirder is I've went to like multiple websites, and they said that it's really hard to get information from this side of China, because they're basically fully in control of all the stuff that goes out. They even arrested a few like Americans who went there as journalists trying to get like information. But almost every website said that info from this place is rare. So it could, the protest, people say, again, putting a conspiracy theory hat on, some people say it's other things that have happened in China that may be causing the protests that are still related to COVID.
Oh.
Yeah.
But we don't. It's anyone's guess as to what it
Yeah,
is.
because I mean, they don't really like spreading that type of information. What do you guys
Damn.
think? Because I know my sister sent us a post that
Yeah. It's been 3 years yesterday, right? I think it was November 30th.
Feels like not that long ago.
It's been 3 years since the first COVID case was like discovered.
Really, it doesn't feel that long ago for
Not
you.
really.
I feel like it feels like a long time
Three
ago for
years?
me.
3
3 years.
years, bro.
I know. I'm sure it's a long time. I'm just I don't know like
So
that.
to you, fast forward from like what 2019 and then 2020 being like, bro, like we have 2 weeks off of school to just
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Really?
It's just I don't know. I think it's just time flew. I don't know. Because I guess because it's like the COVID era, it feels
Mhm.
like one canon. So in my head,
Mm.
you kind of make it as like a one thing. So to say it's like
Mhm.
3 years kind of makes it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, you
Yeah.
know
I,
how.
I
Go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
gonna be like, I feel like 2020 felt like a long ass year though. Like
It
it's
spread into
like
2021, 2022.
yeah, like it just kind of like never stopped.
Yeah.
It just kept going.
So
Well,
you
because
feel like it's
every
still
every
2020
single
now?
every single time
No,
you would find out something.
I think it's more like I feel like it's only been like 2 years max, three. Because like 2020 and 2021, they were kind of like overlapping. Because then lockdown ended. When did lockdown end? Like in the middle of
In like
2021.
June
2021.
2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Because
get
we
what I'm
went to
saying.
Dodger
You
game.
get what I'm
Remember that?
saying? Like yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
So how
uh,
does it feel, like listening to that China? They basically have never let go of the lockdowns.
it's horrible, bro. I feel so bad for all the people going down over there. It sucks.
You think so? I thought about it. I was like, COVID started in China, right? If
Mm.
there's anybody who knows more about the virus and the origin and what it can do, it's probably them, right? So don't you
Mm.
think that all these lockdowns is because they're really scared of what the disease is?
I don't know. They're just it's an interesting like government. I don't know too much about it, so I won't like act like I do. But I
Yeah.
mean, they banned Winnie the Pooh, so like, you know what I mean?
Why'd they
Yeah,
ban
it's
him
true.
though?
Because somebody said that the Xi Jinping looks like
Oh,
him, so he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's no more Winnie the Pooh
Yeah.
allowed. Because you know,
Oh, like we have a few comments.
Vanessa said, "Doesn't
Doesn't
feel
feel long
long for
for me
me either."
either.
yeah, right.
Really?
Well, because I don't know. Yeah,
To me, it feels like I've aged 10 years in 3 years.
And
really.
then
Yeah.
she also said, I feel like lockdown times
Something
never
never
happened.
happened. I
LMAO. I
was
was
drunk
drunk most
most
of
of the
the
time.
time.
It's true. I was pretty faded off my mind, like most of the time.
Pretty real.
But I
Pretty
think
real.
But
everybody was
I
just getting past the time, you know?
I mean, yeah, I was pretty high. But I remember like but I remember when I would get high and I would be like like the feeling of like never getting out of lockdown. Like I was like, damn, like I can't go outside and like socialize with people like without there being the fear of it, right?
Yeah.
Cuz it's like for them it's still going on, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well, I mean, people say like it's still going on now. Like no, I mean it is going on now. It's
no,
just
Yeah.
yeah,
like
people are still
I guess
catching.
people just kind of relaxed a little bit.
Yeah.
But I guess because we have the vaccines, everybody's like, "Ah, we're cool," you know.
Mhm.
But over there, I didn't know that they didn't allow the vaccines over there. So
Hmm.
that's crazy.
That's also crazy.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
think, you know how here in the States, people are very against vaccines and they're like, well,
Out of nowhere.
it's the microchip that's like the government is using or they're going to activate it
So what?
and mind
What?
control
You know
us.
what? What I think is dumb about that is like, oh, like don't put a microchip in me from the vaccine, but Elon Musk's microchip, put that right in my brain. You know,
The
it's
The
like
Neuralink.
he's literally making an actual microchip, and everybody's like, that's gonna change the world. But supposedly there's a government microchip, and hell no. You know what?
I think
The
it's because
micro.
Elon Musk, people see as he's like a modern day Tony Stark, right? Like he's like a
He
superhero.
just gets romanticized a lot, but he's just like any other businessman, where he's more about the money than actually the
It's
people. You
true.
know what I mean?
That's true.
Which I mean, he's the richest man in the world, so
Yeah.
obviously that's what he's doing. You know?
Yeah, that's true. It's crazy too because I read that people are trying to like demand that what's his name, Jean
Xi
Jing,
Jinping.
yeah, Xi Jinping step down as like president
He's
or whatever
not.
they have.
He's
Yeah,
not.
he's obviously not. But like that in itself, like I can't emphasize enough how like significant that is because in China they do not protest. Like it's very big for them to kind of push back, mainly because the Chinese government doesn't fuck
Mhm.
around, you know.
Mhm.
Um, so it's a big thing that they're chanting for him to come down and
Mm.
resign, right? It seems as though like the I was seeing a bunch of videos on TikTok
Yeah.
and people were saying like, "Oh my god, the world is waking up and like the world is changing." And to me, I I kind of like that school of thought that like
Mm.
everybody is kind of having like this awakening. I kind of you know how we learned in history class the first great awakening? I
Mm.
feel
Mhm.
like I weirdly see it now. Like I feel like more than ever before are people like pushing back against things. And this leads into my second topic that I did research on, the Balenciaga
Balenciaga.
Balenciaga. My bad, my bad. Balenciaga thing. I did research. Have you guys heard about it? It's been everywhere.
So like
It
what
was
happened?
so like they had an ad campaign
Mhm.
with kids holding teddy bears. And the teddy bears were in like BDSM and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And that's obviously that's weird,
Wait,
right?
so it was an ad
It's
with
an
kids,
with little kids holding like teddy bears and
but the
toys.
kids were the kids wearing?
No, they weren't,
Okay,
but the teddy
No,
bears were. But
but the
still,
they
teddy
were in
bears
this
were
is
bondage
okay,
in
showing
BDSM.
suggesting.
okay,
But
uh-huh.
then in another clip, they have like just a random desk like showing paperwork of props. But if you look at the actual paperwork that's there,
Mhm.
it's talking about child pedophilia. Like
Yeah.
it's written in the paper that
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
about.
So what it
Yeah,
is the document is a document from the U.S. versus Williams case, where the U.S. criminalized child porn.
yeah.
And people say that's really weird because
Odd coincidence,
because
right?
the guy was trying to argue that pornography is a form of freedom of speech,
Yeah,
which is really weird considering like
Okay.
why is this on like a fashion like
yeah.
company's
Yeah.
like page, right? And it's just really funny. You can't spell. I wrote you can't spell How do you say it?
Balenciaga.
Balenciaga without CIA. That's just like it doesn't. I didn't find any like
Oh, that's
claims.
just off the dome.
Yeah, that's just off the dome. You know,
I'm
I even wrote it
dead.
like in. I don't think you could see it on the camera, but I put CIA. So
Yeah.
maybe it's the CIA trying to fuck with
Careful, don't
us.
talk about them too much, bro.
Oh, you think that? Oh yeah.
You might get the
We'll
award
get-
for best journalist.
Oh, they're gonna whack me.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Bruh.
cut off my dome like
So
JFK.
the controversy is that they're
Well,
spreading.
Well, because Kanye West is saying, well, it's like one of those conspiracy things of like, well, first of all, remove the conspiracy. That's pretty weird.
Yeah.
For one, like having kids in those sexually suggestive situations,
Mhm.
and then having a as like a random prop, they chose like a court case that's arguing for like to make like
That it's
Child
fine.
porn legal.
yeah, that it's
Yeah.
fine. That's kind of a weird coincidence. But I think Balenciaga like
They're suing the
they're
people
suing
who
the
are behind it.
the ad
Yeah.
company that made that. Because like I mean, why wouldn't you? But people are also calling out like Kim Kardashian and
Wait,
Yeah.
Balenciaga is suing the ad campaign.
the ad
Yeah.
company that
Oh, the
made the
ad
ad
Yeah.
for
company.
them.
I took a screenshot of what Kim Kardashian had to say because
Yeah.
she's like a big
So
partner for them.
they like don't run this with each other.
Well, it's kind of like the it's
No,
more-
that's what brings up the controversy is that they're like, how did you guys still approve this?
yeah,
You guys saw this and we're
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's good to go.
yeah,
You know, it's like
Yeah.
if Brandon made like a meme like
Mhm.
about
Yeah.
like child porn for the Primos Chidos,
yeah,
and I looked at it and I was like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool to post that. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's like what the fuck?
yeah.
Like what was I
Yeah,
thinking?
Exactly.
Okay, so
Interesting.
this is what Kim Kardashian said. I have been quiet for the past few days, not because I haven't been disgusted and outraged by the recent, how do you say it?
Balenciaga.
Balenciaga campaigns, because I wanted an opportunity to speak to their team to understand for myself how this could have happened, right? I appreciate Balenciaga's removal of campaigns and apology. In speaking with them, I believe they understand the seriousness of the issue and will take the necessary measures for this to never happen again, right? People were very upset by this response because she's kind of saying like, "Oh, don't worry, like I talked to them, it's
Yeah,
okay."
yeah,
But people feel like she should have cut ties with them
Mhm.
because it's kind of unforgivable considering like they're basically like promoting like child like the sexualization of children,
yeah.
you know, like on paper you don't even have to be wearing a conspiracy theory hat for that one.
No, yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to straight up objectively, that's just really fucking weird,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
What do you guys think that means though? Like why would someone approve that, and why are they like have this fixation on like child pornography?
I have no fucking idea why.
D-
Why do you think that happens so much? What's with like the elites?
Oh, like
being-
the association between the elites and like and
Kids.
and I'm not even
and
talking
them,
about
like,
it
fucking
in
around
like
with kids.
in a conspiracy way where it's like it's the adrenochrome. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like what the fuck is it with rich and powerful people and liking little kids?
I assume if
It's like a power trip. you
I think
think?
it's I always
Maybe.
like to look at things like psychological wise because everybody's just kind of suffering from things that's happening in their brain.
Yeah.
And I think it's something in their brain kind of associates like their power and their control with like innocence because they're like, I'm not an innocent person, but I want to see innocence,
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah.
and I think they fixate on children because they're kind of like ignorant
Yeah.
and innocent to anything else that can happen to them. So not only are they vulnerable because they can easily pick on them, um, but they're like they remind them of something so different from who they are themselves. Because I don't know, we were talking about on the car ride here about how Harvey Weinstein, right?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Harvey Weinstein, famous producer in Hollywood, until he got exposed, for basically sexual misconduct, like a lot
Yeah.
of like rape accusations,
Mhm.
stuff like that. But people say that he had a fixation for young child actors,
Yeah.
you know. um I I wonder why too. It's like I don't know what it is.
I don't know, cause like I said, I don't really believe in the whole adrenochrome shit, but it
Wait, what
is.
is that? What's adrenochrome?
Remember we've talked about it, that people say that the elites, it's not really even about the sexualization. It's just that they drink kids' blood to stay young, and that like
Oh,
adrenochrome is in young people's
blood.
blood.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I was gonna say I feel like it's more of like the like fixation that they want to stay young. That's how I thought it. When you asked the
Oh,
question,
that's
I was kind of
true.
like, I feel like it's more of them wanting to
cause
just
it's
stay
like,
young. Because I feel like a lot of them are rich and famous, and I don't know. There's something from like I guess the vibe of like they don't want to get old. That's why
yeah,
they keep doing like what they do, like Botox,
surgeries and
Yeah,
stuff like
surgery,
that.
all that
yeah,
shit. And I don't know. I think
yeah,
that's kind of like why maybe they're fixated with like
yeah.
kids. I don't
Rich
know.
and powerful
Because
people are
It's just
scary.
like it's
yeah,
it's it's a weird like
it
coincidence
reminds
and
me
like
of when
correlation.
Steve Jobs passed away. Not that Steve Jobs was like a pedophile or anything, but
Hmm.
when Steve Jobs passed away, he died of cancer, right? He had
Stomach
cancer.
cancer, I think, right?
Yeah, I remember my mom said something that always stuck with me that I still remember to this day. That it's like Steve Jobs had all this money, right? He had like founded one of the biggest tech companies in the world, like Apple. It's still big to this day. Everybody here has an Apple phone, and yet he still died from just like cancer. Like all
Yeah,
he threw everything he could at it, put all
it's the
his
great
money.
equalizer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like everybody dies at the end of the day. Like no matter how rich and powerful you are, everybody dies. But I think when you're really rich and you're an elite, you're like, not me. Like I'm gonna
yeah,
find some way,
Hmm.
no matter what it takes. I'm not gonna die.
yeah,
Um, but so far nobody's done it.
yeah.
Nobody's been able to
That we
pass that.
know of, right?
Yeah.
I've seen all those what is it? Those pictures where they say celebrities look like people in the past. And it's like that's
Oh, they're like
proof. Yeah.
vampires. I
Yeah.
have seen that. Yeah, I have seen that.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that's yeah.
yeah. Well,
But
That's wild.
that's all the research I did.
How,
well,
so what do you
I don't
think?
I don't know, man. It's like,
So what's happening with them?
what
Like
do you mean?
nothing?
What do you mean?
The company?
Balenciaga.
Yeah.
They're just in a bunch of hot
They're just
water.
giving them like
They're just saying, we won't do that again. You know.
That's it.
slap on the wrist.
Yeah, I mean, nobody gets
Nobody's cut ties
cancel
yet.
culture is bullshit. It doesn't really work. Everybody just kind of says sorry, and then in a
And
few
then
months, it's
they
all
move
cool.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, because what they try to do to cover PR is they sued the people who were behind it, right?
yeah,
Um, people probably just gonna forget. This is just the way things are,
yeah.
you know.
Well, something else will come along that's a big problem, and we'll focus on that. And then,
Some people are
Yeah.
saying I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I always listen.
yeah,
Yeah, I always keep my ear open to them because I'm like,
yeah,
a broken clock is right twice
a day,
a
yeah,
day. So
Mhm.
I was like, maybe somebody's spitting facts. I know for people who are saying that it's like a distraction, that it's like they're trying to distract from something else that's going on in the world. But that's kind of like base level what conspiracy theorists always say whenever
Mhm.
anything bad
yeah.
happens in the
It's a
news.
distraction. It's a
It's always a
distraction.
distraction.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, maybe Kanye for a while he had said that he didn't like, but
Balenciaga.
yeah, that he said that they were like devil worshippers and like Satanists.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen that?
I haven't
That's
seen
the
that.
like
I, mhm.
explanation that people have like kind of given like the whole Balenciaga, because like we said, like objectively it's really fucking weird.
Yeah.
People say that they are like devil worshippers, but not in the sense of like they're actually doing magic and
Yeah, yeah.
spells,
That's just
but that's what they
that's
believe
just their
in.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they
Is
believe
it
in like,
is
yeah.
is that bad to worship
I
Satan?
mean, do you gotta respect the religion?
I remember fucking Steve-O explained that. I mean, I'm sure it's different. I don't know. I might sound dumb, but that Satanist is not what people think. That it doesn't.
Steve-O or Steve-O, our friend?
Steve-O,
Oh,
Steve-O,
Steve-O.
like from Jackass.
Okay,
He
okay.
was saying that Satanist is not what people think. That Satanist is more like, I forgot what it was, but it sounded really cool the way he explained it.
Mhm.
So
I
maybe
know what
it's
it is.
that.
Yeah, I saw a video of this guy went to like a Satan con.
Yeah.
Just like a bunch of
Mhm.
Satanists go meet up,
Mhm.
Satan con.
yeah, no, yeah, it's a real
Uh-huh.
thing. Yeah, it's like in Texas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they explained that like they're pro-choice, obviously
Mm,
because Christians are
yeah.
pro-life.
Pro-life.
They're very about like they're with the LGBT community because that's who
Yeah.
the church shuns.
Yeah.
They're very much about donation and community,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is ironic, right? Because
Yeah.
they
You'd
believe
expect
they
them. Yeah.
they worship Satan, right? And they do, but they don't believe in sacrifices or like being an asshole. They believe in everything that Lucifer in the Bible was about. And if you read what he's about, he is about like just kind of being more like accepting people for who they are,
Yeah.
for their urges, and like being very like weirdly progressive,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is weird, right? So that's why when you said like, should we judge them if they are Satanists?
Well, because
I mean, are you supposed to respect
think-
everyone's religion even if they
I don't
believe in
know.
the
well, because
devil?
it's also like, at least
ahead.
the way I was seeing it was people were saying that they're like Satan worshippers, right? But it's kind of like, so then like, is it bad? Are you saying that like only Catholic and Christian is good? Like, to that you should respect more like God and like Jesus and all that?
I get what you're saying, like, and I agree, but I don't think that these people fit that bill. I don't when people get this when they're describing them as like devil worshippers, I don't think that's what they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wait, really
Uh,
quick. Vanessa said, Andrew Tate said, there's Satanists that believe in karmic retribution. Since they're doing something bad, they have to tell you in a way to lessen their karma since they're telling you.
yeah.
Whoa. So is that like is that like an explanation why Balenciaga is like showing that?
That's part of what people say with subliminal messages. There's a lot of explanations that are like that, but in general, it's kind of like a legal loophole for what people believe, that in telling you subliminally, it takes something off of them. So I've seen people say, not I haven't seen that one, but I've seen people say it with like aliens, that like aliens.
All right,
Yeah.
you lost me. You lost me.
Well, I feel like the same realm though. The devil's telling you to do that, but they're not aliens.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
true, it's true.
same realm.
It's true, it's true. You got
Magic
me there. You
bullshit
got
and
me
the
there.
fucking- yeah, you know.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. That whole Moloch the owl god shit was weird. When Alex
Alex
Jones,
Jones.
snuck into their secret camp where there was no girls allowed or whatever.
Yeah.
And
You know what he's talking about?
No.
You ever seen that where Alex Jones snuck into like a camp with all the elites, like politicians, rich people, and they're doing like do you remember that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward goes to the like the Illuminati thing, and and SpongeBob and Patrick have to like pretend to be an eel to get him in?
Damn, I don't even
No,
remember
I
that.
don't remember that
No, I don't
episode.
know that one either.
Where,
He was explaining
the
it, and I was like, I have
fuck?
no idea what episode
the
that is.
episode where Squidward's in like a cult.
Hey, bro, they're subliminally telling you
Oh, yeah.
that it's because the SpongeBob
Remember
creators are in the
SpongeBob
cult.
and Patrick get in a sock and they go like, "Rawr." Remember?
Oh,
That-
that's because that's one of the newest ones.
Okay,
yeah.
but
yeah.
anyways, it's like that. Like it's like a sweat lodge or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Not sweat lodge, but you get what I'm saying? They have like campfires and like torches and shit.
I feel like I kind of vaguely
and they're
remember
like
seeing the video.
worshiping Moloch the owl god or whatever, which is like he's into human kid sacrifices in the lore of whatever he's from.
And this is in the
Uh,
SpongeBob episode, right?
No,
You're talking about real life, right?
This is what Alex Jones snuck
Mhm.
into and he like got footage of. Which
That's
is,
what made him like
Interesting.
kind of blow up. No,
yeah, that he was like
he's
right about that.
did a scoop. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
he-
right about that.
yeah.
The elites go and worship like
Demons
the owl.
and shit.
Yeah, but I remember when that came out, people brought up that same argument of like, well, maybe it's just a religion, you know? Maybe they
Yeah.
just weirdly believe in this owl god.
I mean, you were saying in like the car ride, and I agree. I don't think they're doing like they're not Doctor Strange or whatever. Like they're not doing shit like that or like making
Yeah.
themselves immortal.
They're not doing hereditary
Yeah,
shit.
but I think it's kind of it's more like the if anything, it's more like the Jeffrey Epstein's shit where it's like it's supposed to look incriminating because it's like everybody's doing bad shit. So like nobody can snitch on each other. It's like if you've seen Better Call Saul, where
it's just basically
yeah.
evil. It's elite people do evil things all the fucking time because they can get away with it because
Yeah.
they're rich and
Mhm.
powerful.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically the gist of what
And I
it is.
think the like I don't know. I mean,
Would you, if you guys were rich and powerful, would you guys do any such shit?
Fuck no.
That's what you guys say now.
I think
That's what you guys say now.
if you're rich and powerful, or all right, like let's say if you're gonna become famous, I think the way to do it is you got to get in and get out, like what Dave Chappelle did. I think you got to get in, get
No.
your shit done, get out before
you get
Before it gets
dirty?
you.
because you either die a
What's
hero
it?
or you live long enough to see
Who knows
yourself
what it
become
is,
the
bro?
villain.
You gotta be in to know what it is.
Yeah. Would you guys be scared if we were like got
Well, 'cause
invited to like an
remember
Illuminati
David,
meeting?
Remember David Dobrik said that on a podcast.
Oh,
that he said that in
yeah.
the beginning that he knew some people that like
Sold their
souls,
souls?
Yeah.
and that for a
That
while
shit's
he was really scared
crazy.
about it because Well, here's the thing though. It's like I know it's weird and it sounds like conspiracy-y to like be like, oh, they're into devil worship. And again, I don't think like any of that shit like they're not Doctor Strange or whatever. But I don't think it's weird that they like. I mean, I think it's weird that they do it, but it's like people like on this side do shit like that. Like people are into manifesting and all that
Mhm.
stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But you get
It's
what I
true.
mean? Like everybody's spiritual to a sense, so it makes sense that like their spirituality reflects the bad people that they are. You
Yeah.
know, I don't think that it's necessarily that like.
Okay, but what if I believed like I think it's okay to murder someone every now and then? Would you respect my religion?
But no, I'm not making that argument. I'm just
I feel like
saying.
that's different though. You're
No,
actually harming
no, no,
someone.
no,
You're
no,
harming
But
no.
I'm
people,
saying
no?
like in the
No,
Balenciaga
but I'm
thing.
not. I'm not making that argument. I'm just saying like to kind of explain. I'm not saying the devil's like puppet
I
mastering
get
them.
what you
I'm
mean.
just saying
Yeah.
their spirituality or whatever, because everybody's spiritual to a degree.
Mhm.
It's just reflecting who they are inside. That's it. I don't
Mm.
like, if I had to give like a real world explanation, that's what I think it is.
Oh,
I don't
I
think
get you. Yeah.
it's like there's like an evil overlord like lizard guy
There's a
from the
spiritual
sixth
and
circle of
physical
hell, you know.
war going on. I
But
get you.
then
What you're saying.
again,
Yeah.
they want maybe that's what they want us to believe,
Damn.
you know.
I've heard that. That's a theory I've heard. I've heard that we're taught things that lower like our frequency so that we can like not like astral
Oh.
project or
Why do
like.
you why do
Oh,
you roll your eyes, Brandon?
you know what's crazy? I talked about this on the episode where it was just me and Brandon.
Mhm.
That like astral projection has become like such a big thing in the younger generation, like
Mhm.
younger than any of the three of us.
Mhm.
And it's called shifting. I
Mm.
finally remembered what it was. I did a little bit of research on it. Have you heard about this, Julie?
No.
It's basically like a lot of the younger generation says that they can shift and you can learn how to shift. So what shifting is that you basically like kind of go into this meditative state, and you can go into any world. And I literally mean any world.
Like
People
the
talk
Walking
about
Dead world or the
yeah.
Better Call Saul world or whatever.
Yeah, I saw people say that they
Okay.
go into the Minecraft
That's
world.
where they lost me personally.
Yeah,
That's where
he's
they
like, it's
lost me.
bullshit. There's
I
no
feel like
way.
Wait, I
feel
think I
like
remember watching this.
if you
Yeah.
want to say like oh I astral projected and maybe I went to another dimension, all right, cool, whatever. But like I don't know, the Walking Dead world or the Minecraft world.
So you're just
Well,
dreaming,
Yeah,
no?
you're just dreaming. You're just dreaming. Like
I
You're
don't
just
know. That's how.
schizophrenic, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
yeah,
Well, it's funny because I remember I went on a date with a girl and she told me that
she's
that her
into that.
friends no shift. Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
no, it's
Shit.
real. Like they shift. They go shifting
mean,
every
I've
night.
only ever shifted once
Oh,
on shrooms.
yeah.
That's
I was
something
on. I
else.
was on fucking GTA.
Nah, I
bro.
mean, but in general, whatever.
I
Like,
was in the video
who am
game.
I? You know, like, I'm sure. I don't
Hey,
know.
bro, hot take.
No, no, I don't.
You had some questions too, no?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say because like Kanye's been saying a lot of crazy shit. A lot of people have been saying a lot of crazy
Mhm.
shit. Um, where do you guys stand with like separation of art and artist? Because Kanye's been saying some like really problematic
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And like I was talking to Steve, I don't remember when, but I was telling him how like I've never been to a concert, but I've almost gone to a concert like a bunch of times.
Mhm.
I almost went to Kendrick concert, almost went to a Red Pears concert, almost went to a Kanye concert. And one because I used to, I mean I like Kanye's music,
Yeah.
but and we were talking about like maybe we missed our window to go to a Kanye concert because now he's pretty problematic, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where do you guys stand with that? Like, do you guys believe in like separating art from the artist? Like, do you think it's cool to go to like a I don't know
it's-
judgment here. I'm
No,
just
I know,
asking
I
a
know.
question,
I
yeah.
believe you. I
I
know
just
you
feel
won't
like
judge me.
it's weird because if you it's like how they said with like R. Kelly, right? Like if you keep listening to his music, you're still supporting him because it's still giving money to like his pocket, right?
That's a great
And
point.
he did a lot of like
That's a great point.
shit, and he's in jail, right?
Yeah.
The next one is like like Chris Brown, right? Where like people are saying
Yeah.
like he beat up like Rihanna, right? But like, and yet he's still getting canceled. Um, but I was doing research on him because like I know he was coming up because I think he was gonna do a tribute to Michael Jackson and they canceled it supposedly.
Oh, really?
There's like different explanations as to why it didn't happen. But one of the conspiracies is that like, or I don't know if it's a conspiracy, but it's like, oh, because like the whole thing of like him
Just a
beating up
rumor,
Rihanna
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rumor. Yeah. And it's like for him, he's like, it's because like for me, I'm a big like music and I love music and like Chris Brown, we kind of like grew up hearing like forever. Like he came out in The Office, like, and but he still is he's still been abusing a lot of women or like there's allegations
really?
against him.
Again.
I think the most recent one was in 2019. So and people are like, you should forgive him, like and all this
Oh yeah,
stuff.
and he beat up Frank Ocean, right? And called him a few slurs, a few
I think that
homophobic
that was
slurs.
another one that happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that people were
But
like,
I guess,
So it's
but
like separating them. It's like you can't, because it's like if you hear a song, right? It's kind of like you can't, in the back of your mind you can't help but think like, but this man who wrote this song
yeah,
still did these bad things,
yeah.
still did this harming like people,
I don't
no.
know. I don't know if I agree.
It's just like, all right, I'll say this though. All right, for a while, I think like when it comes to like beliefs and shit, like political beliefs or like shit that's not really like hurting anybody, I can understand that.
Hmm.
Like to run with the R. Kelly example, right? I didn't know what R. Kelly had done outside of like I heard the piss shit, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
mostly a meme. But I didn't know
Yeah.
until I watched Surviving R. Kelly the extent of what he was being
Yeah.
like accused of. Even though it's been around for a long time, I swear I just didn't know. Um, and I remember like it's pretty disturbing the shit
Yeah.
yeah,
he did, right.
yeah.
Um, and I think that was the first time whenever I started hearing music, I was like, man, I don't want to listen to it. It gives me a bad
Hmm.
vibe because
Hmm.
like all I can think about is all the shit that he did, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um or like you guys have you seen A Bug's Life?
yeah, yeah.
Um
Oh, because Kevin Spacey's in there.
yeah,
Oh yeah, that was the other
every
one.
time
Yeah,
I watch
yeah.
that movie now, I'm always like, damn, like I don't know.
Bro, acquitted though. He was
Well, cause
acquitted.
but it
All cases dropped against
you
him.
know,
Is he in prison?
I actually
Bro,
watched
what happened
the,
to innocent until proven guilty?
but
Now
I
it's the
mean
opposite. Guilty till
but the
proven
things that
innocent.
you still seen though,
but I feel
no.
like that's I don't know, man. That's a slippery slope, dude. Like with Kevin Spacey, all his accusers like mysteriously dying. It's like, did he even like was he even proven innocent or was he just innocent by default? You know, where it's like there's nobody even left to accuse him anymore.
Did you know that, Julie? Did you know
Yeah.
his accusers died?
Well, didn't he also make like those creepy videos?
Yeah, like even talking about him now, even talking about him
That's
now,
still
I'm like
scary,
really
no?
scared. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. I feel
Well,
like
because
He intimidates
I
you.
actually watched a video on it because I was like really trying to like see like I guess other people's opinions on separating art from the artist,
Yeah.
right? And he actually talks about Kevin, what's his name?
Kevin
Kevin
Spacey.
Spacey, right?
Yeah,
And he talks about he's like, but he's a really great actor. Like you see like
yeah.
American Beauty, and yet American Beauty is like creepy because it's like he likes
It's
It's
a
kind of
young
like
girl,
weird,
right?
yeah. But what's interesting about Kevin, because it's like you can make that argument that an art is a reflection of the artist,
Hmm.
that like art is an expression of the artist,
Hmm.
and it's like, can't you argue that like the bad shit that they do is like it's seeping through?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, because Kevin Spacey's brother
it's true.
would always
Yeah.
say Kevin Spacey's brother would say that he always felt that his brother was a monster.
Hmm.
But and that's why he was so good at playing them. Because like in Seven or in
Horrible bosses.
Horrible Bosses or in American Beauty,
Yeah.
it's like off the dome because it's like,
Hmm.
oh, this is just me, you know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And when you put it like that, it's kind of like, ugh, you know. Um,
Chris said he
He
was
was creepy
creepy
in
in
House
House
of
of
Cards
Cards
too.
too.
yeah, right. I don't know. It's
That's
just
why I'm like,
I like that
it's
joke
super,
that
it's like
people
super
use
complicated.
for Leonardo DiCaprio and Django. He's like he's a little too good at being racist. What do you think about that? Then is that just his
the only
racism seeping
no, but
through?
that's different though, because I've seen an interview of Jamie Foxx talking about it, about how in the entirety of filming that Leonardo DiCaprio was really uncomfortable with it, but Samuel Jackson was like, "Nah, bro, like this is just how it was back in the day. Like
Hmm.
if you don't give it your all, then you're doing it an injustice, you know." So
Hmm.
I mean, I know a lot of some people
But
don't
then,
really like.
exactly, bro. Then doesn't that mean like
But
separate
like,
art from artist?
but that's completely different though, because there's no Leonardo DiCaprio racist allegations, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, but there are Kevin Spacey like monster allegations, you know?
yeah,
There
Hmm.
are R. Kelly like, I mean,
He's
he's
yeah,
in jail.
guilty. He's in
Yeah.
jail, like, you know? I think in that, come on, it's a little different, you know?
yeah.
Or like the Kanye thing. Everybody makes the joke where what song is it where he says, "I hate these more than a Nazi," and now
Hmm.
he's saying, "I like Hitler," and that's a
Yeah,
direct quote. He says, "There's aspects I like of Hitler."
yeah.
Um,
Said it
so
today. He said it today.
so
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I mean, where do you guys draw the line?
I guess to me, the examples that you guys bring, like, I agree that when I listen to R. Kelly's music, I can't help but separate like what he did in real life to the music. But if I was ignorant to that fact, if I had no idea who R. Kelly is and I just liked his music, then like I'm separating the art just like default by
But
default, you know.
you're not
But
ignorant to it though. I'm saying like ignorance isn't an excuse, you know. There's no excuse to be ignorant these days, especially with all the Google and all that shit.
Hmm.
And I get it, if some people don't know, that's cool. But the people who do know, is it is it cool to like do that? Like, is it like okay to be
I get
like,
what you mean.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and if it is, where's the line? Because for me, I can understand again if
Okay,
like
well, can you can do that for yourself, right? You could be like, maybe I don't like Kanye because I don't like the anti-Semitic things that he's saying,
Hmm.
okay? But does it change when then you hear a friend playing Kanye and you're like, you turn that off and you're like, you shouldn't be listening to that? Does it change then?
I don't
Because
know.
then isn't that the same as when people try to like push their beliefs and their faiths and their religion onto other people? Be like, no, 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 you shouldn't listen to Kanye. You shouldn't support Kyrie because I don't believe
But
in that.
don't you think that's such a cop out though? Don't you think it's such a cop out to not take a stance? To just be like, oh well, you know, it's like,
Separate the art from the
yeah,
artist.
like don't you
You
think
think
it's,
that's like fence sitting?
yeah,
How people are
I don't
fence
know.
sitters?
Like I mean I don't know. Like I said, I don't really judge, and like I get what you're saying. Like
Hmm.
I don't really like putting. I like put like what I believe. I believe. You know what you believe. You
Yeah.
believe. That's how you know. Um, I don't know. I feel like what's the right thing to do? Like if you
Yeah.
had to like sit down and argue, what's the right thing to do? Like
Hmm.
should, because like I get what you're saying. Like with R. Kelly, that's a great point. Like when you're listening to him, you're giving him money. Like he's broke right now because he had to spend all his money on lawyers and shit, and he's in jail, and rightfully
Mm-hmm.
so. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're playing him, yeah, you're giving him
Well,
some cash. You know.
well,
Yeah.
also because like with R. Kelly, like he wrote some songs about the women he was involved with,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It's kind of like, like you know,
and
Like
like he was with what's her name,
he
Aaliyah.
hints at like shit
Aaliyah,
that
and
he's
then and
done
then the
too.
song is
yeah,
like ain't age ain't nothing but a number. She was
yeah,
15 when he married
yeah,
her,
yeah.
and I don't know. I just think, at least to me, the way I also see it is like, well, I mean, me personally, I feel like it's just very sad, and I also see it because they're artists, right? They've gone through a lot. Like we know that R. Kelly was like molested as a child. Chris Brown, he had a very abusive dad. He saw his dad
Mhm.
beat up his mom. Um, you just see that there's a lot of trauma with these artists, and like we've known that sometimes like people are a little crazy in their head to be like artists, right?
Yeah.
There's like this little like thing, right?
All great
And
artists are a little crazy, they say,
yeah,
right?
so I just feel like it's kind of like that. And I think it's just like coming out
But
in
it's
like a
like
very like bad
it's also
way.
that thing of like, you can have art with ethics, right? I feel like a lot of people try to hide behind the fact of like, oh, it's cool, it's art though, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's a little outside of my pay grade to
Yeah.
decide, but
No, I mean,
you know, I don't know what
I
the.
think to me it just hurts me a lot that it's like that these things are happening
yeah.
with like, because they're
Yeah.
really great. Like if you were to like, they're all very talented
Mm.
like at the art that they do, and it's just sad that they're like that there's this like bad to them too.
It's just kind of like, it's because like, all right, with R. Kelly, like I can see, I personally just don't really like listening to his music now because it's like I just can't, like it's just personally I just can't
Hmm.
separate him from the shit I'm listening to. I just can't separate from the shit he did, you know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and so I just wonder like what's the line? Like where's the like, okay, I can this, it's okay to separate him now. Cuz like for me like like I said, I can understand like opinions. Like it's like, "Oh, I support this politician," or "I think this is the way the United States should go," or "I don't agree with," etc., 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 you
Yeah.
Hmm.
know? I can understand that,
Hmm.
you know? But when it comes to like child like molesters
Molestation.
and
Hmm.
Yeah.
murders and
Yeah.
all that kind of shit, it's
Hmm.
kind of like, is that the line?
I
Like,
think
is it
what it
just
is
hurting
is the
people? You know?
line is, yeah. I think the line is if you do things that affect other people in negative ways,
Yeah,
you shouldn't be supporting their art
yeah,
because
yeah.
those people that they're affecting could end up being somebody you know, could easily be you, you
True.
know?
It's a good point.
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like if you continue to support that, then you support that culture that cultivates
yeah.
that
Hmm.
relationship between
Well,
artist and its audience.
that's also a good point, right? Because it's like if you're supporting them, then it's kind of like, oh, this is cool. Like people
Yeah.
like this, you know.
Yeah, dude,
So
like
like other
Well,
people who are like that are
I
like,
think it's also like you don't they think that they're so big and like so rich and
they're
famous
oh, they
that
untouchable.
can't get checked.
they
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good
I
point.
think
That's a good
I think
point.
that's how I also saw it, that like they feel like they're at a high standard that like Nothing's gonna happen.
My God, like I'm Kevin Spacey. Like,
Yeah.
Have you heard of that phenomenon that sometimes when people go see like artists either in concert or they run into them on the street, and I guess this is why you should be scared if you ever
Yeah.
become famous, that there's this phenomenon that people have this thing of like, holy shit, like they're real, like they're flesh and blood, like I
Yeah.
could hurt them. I could literally like
Whoa.
even the odds, like I could physically hit them right now, like because it kind of erases that
The
barrier, because
illusion of them.
yeah, because they become a character in your mind, right? But when you
Mhm.
see them in person, it's like people kind of get this like feeling of they want to interact and do something that'll like affect them because now they're there, which is why a lot of people have security, because
Mhm.
like it's actually a phenomenon that people get. I wonder why. I don't know, but it's just a thing that people get. I assume it's kind
Interesting.
of like a. Have you ever heard of when people see cute things, they get cute aggression?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Of like, oh,
Like,
I just want to squish
wanna
it. I just
it or
want to
bite it.
I just
Yeah.
want to like rip its fucking
Uh-huh.
head off, you
Yeah.
know? I assume it's the same thing when you see an artist in real life. You're like so starstruck and mind blown. You're like, oh my
Mhm.
God, like I just want to rip their head off,
Yeah.
you know?
I just want to pull a John
I mean, you
Lennon.
see it. People, celebs get like
When they
ripped their
grab them,
clothes or
yeah.
ripped
Yeah.
apart. Cute aggression, you know? So if you ever become a famous person, might want to
Well,
invest in some security.
I guess it's like because like they almost don't see. We were talking about it, right? With like Vanilla Ice and shit about how like people just don't think celebrities are people.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Because it's like I don't know, it's weird. Like I guess an example for me is the IE because I had seen them before we knew them, like on the TikTok. Not
Mm-hmm.
regularly, but every now and again I would see them.
Mhm.
Like I would see them and like meeting them was weird because it's like oh, like I just like know you now. Like you're just a guy. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it. I don't know. It's weird. I can't. It's
Yeah.
hard to explain. Um,
I
and
think
it's
it's a
like
phenomenon that's happened since like the age of the TV,
no, for sure, right?
I think like our monkey brains see these images of like people on
Mm.
screen and they're like, oh,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, these are living
yeah,
paintings,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
holy
Exactly,
fuck. And then when you see
exactly.
them in real life and you separate that barrier, your brain is almost has like a fucking like
It's
malfunction, you know?
it's kind of scary, right? Because it's like it's almost like your animal brain takes over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
Dude,
we're,
instinct
See,
trips me out all the
didn't we talk
time.
about this?
did we?
Is it
Did we?
instinct to murder, bro?
That was a long time ago. Wait a minute. I don't know. I don't.
I don't
Okay,
know,
that's a
man.
little bit of a different
I don't
one.
know. I honestly don't know.
Is it our instinct to
Sketch.
murder?
Well,
Especially with everything we're
Well,
talking
the only
about.
reason
actually I
yeah.
have another question because I think this actually leads in. You
Okay.
know how Elon Musk is trying to get us to Mars? Everybody's trying to get us to Mars.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you think it's morally like acceptable to colonize another planet given the shape and condition we're leaving the planet we're on already?
Hmm.
Like, do you think it's wrong to start saying like, let's terraform Mars while everything on this planet is going extinct at like an astronomical rate?
Yeah.
Do you think that's like wrong?
I.
Because just before you
Yeah.
answer
Okay.
it, just
Okay.
to add
Okay.
a little bit more,
Okay.
Neil deGrasse Tyson always talks about how he's like he always thinks it's kind of ironic how like we're like, oh well, we can't fix climate change, but we think we can terraform Mars. He's like, it's the same thing. If we can fix a planet that doesn't have an atmosphere, doesn't have plants, we can fix the one that already does.
Hmm.
Uh,
Mhm.
so continuing forward, do you think it's morally wrong to neglect the planet we have in favor of a new one?
I'll use my experience, right? I work with cars, right?
Your
I was gonna
experience as an
explain.
astronaut?
I was gonna yeah,
Yeah.
my experience as a physicist.
Yeah.
But no. I was first gonna do explain in basketball terms, but I feel
Yeah.
like people don't know basketball like that. So I'll explain in car terms because
People know
everybody
that.
has a car.
Everybody knows cars, right?
Everybody knows cars. Everybody has a
Sure.
car.
Sure.
No, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
If
sure.
you have a really shitty car, right? You have
Yeah.
a really fucking beat down 90s car, like fucking like the check engine light, all that shit is lit up like a fucking
Yeah.
video game. Like
Mhm.
what we're supposed to tell you when you pull up, we're like, well, you get it fixed, or you could just give up and get a new car.
Yeah.
Because it's if anything, you'll save money, you'll save time, you'll save energy, you'll save everything. I kind of think of that as like why we'd rather go to a different planet. Because I think maybe people here are like, it's pretty hard to fix something that's been pretty fucked up for a
Mhm.
long time.
Yeah.
Something new, something brand new, like a brand new car. I could fix that up, take care of it. I promise I won't fuck it up like the last
Oh,
car.
I get what you
You
mean.
know?
It's
So
kind of like that.
it's in terms of like, is it morally okay? Is it morally okay when you get rid of your shitty car? Okay,
I
but
feel
okay,
like-
but
I don't know.
I love Mother Earth. Believe me, Mother Earth is
Okay,
not a shitty car.
Okay, I'm
Mother
with
Earth is
you.
not a shitty
I'm with
car.
you with the phenomenon of wanting new shit, right?
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
everybody always wants new shit.
Mhm.
Like, oh, these clothes are shitty. Like, let me just go get some new ones. Uh, I'm not with you when it's like, I don't think the same things track. I feel like I don't know. It's like Mars doesn't even have an atmosphere, and like like
Oh, it's like it's if you wanted to build a new
but
car.
not even that. Like, it's also like everything's going extinct here. It's
Mhm.
like I get the car analogy as far as like wanting new shit, but nobody's getting hurt per se. Like the car doesn't have feelings or whatever, you
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
But here there are animals, there are people who are homeless, there's people who don't even have access to clean water, and yet we're like, oh, but there's no water on Mars, but we'll put water there. We can't even put water in like in people's
Mhm.
mouths. Or, you know
Mm.
you get what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
It seems a little like seems like kind of a rich problem, you know? Like it's kind of like well,
I get what you
let's get
mean.
out of here, leave
I
all the
get what you
shit
mean.
problems here, and we'll do better over there.
I
You
get what
know?
you mean.
It
Yeah.
seems to me kind of like that.
I'd
Um,
rather, yeah, I'd rather us fix Mother Earth and just live here.
I personally think no, I don't think we have to stay here, but I don't think it's cool to
Leave it.
up and leave shop while there's still problems here. You know,
Mhm.
it's kind of like it seems like you're running away from your problems. Like
Mm.
people are running away from the problems. I don't know.
Damn.
Do you think people run away from their problems?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody wants to deal with
I went on a trip to San Francisco recently, and I reflected on like my entire year, especially because it's towards the end of the year. Um, but when I came back here, I realized that a lot of my problems and a lot of things that give me like anxiety weren't as big and weren't as big of a deal. And I think it's because I realized how big the planet is, and I realized how there's so much like room for like different experiences, different journeys, different feelings. Um, so maybe us going to Mars, we'll realize that we had it a lot better on Earth. And it's just something we need to do to realize that we have
yeah.
it so good here and we got to fix everything that's good here before we go
There's
somewhere
like
else.
elephants here, bro. There's no elephants on Mars. There's like I don't know. There's a lot of cool shit here. Nobody really cares. Like I don't know. I just think it's kind of weird how it's like, dude. There's so many cows that their farts are punching a hole in the atmosphere. That's insane to me. Like that's like I don't even know how that's possible. You know. I don't know. I'm kind of a tree hugger. You know. So
Yeah, you're a little bit of a hippie, but it's okay.
I don't know
I
about
think we
hippie.
need
More of a
hippies.
tree hugger.
You don't fuck with hippies? You don't
I
like
like
hippie
hippies. I
culture?
love Steve-O. Steve-O's cool. He gave me a new lease on it. You
The
know.
modern day hippie?
Yeah.
I get you.
Nah, hippies are cool. I mean, why do people hate them to begin with? What's their problem?
This don't they'd rather leave to the spiritual realm than contribute to the society here. Same thing. They see them as
Uh,
scientists, like how scientists would rather leave to another planet.
yeah,
Same thing with hippies. They'd
yeah.
rather be like, it's okay, like because I've reached nirvana
I get what you mean.
internally,
I get what
so
you
I
mean.
don't worry about the stuff that
Uh,
everybody else is up to,
I get
which
what
is
you mean.
both beautiful. But at the same time, I'm of the belief that you should always contribute to society.
Mhm.
But that's me.
Yeah,
Like I said, I don't push my values on other people because
Mhm.
I see very religious wise.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then if somebody came up to me and was like, "Hey, like you shouldn't have tattoos because it's against God," which it
yeah,
is. You're gonna go to hell, by the way.
yeah.
I
Um,
think we all are.
Cause it's like I don't know, dude. It's like we're the smartest things on the planet, right? And like when you eat meat, right? You're acknowledging that you feel like you're above this animal. Cause it's like and
what?
well, no, just hear
In
me
what
out. Hear me out.
way?
Hear me out. When you eat a cow, you don't feel bad, right? I'm not saying you should, but you don't feel bad, right?
No, I was
But
fucking up a burger yesterday.
would you
Yeah.
feel bad if you ate a person? Why? Because you value a
Uh,
person a little more than a cow, right?
Because they're like me.
Yeah, because you value a person a
I'd
little
be
more than a cow.
disgusted more than
But
like
you
feel
but
bad.
why though? Like it's because you value a person.
You
That person
okay?
has feeling,
True.
right?
True. True.
I'm not trying to make that argument. I'm just saying, like, don't you think if that's the stance we're gonna take, that we are above, that it's our responsibility to be more moral than we are, right? Because like
Okay. True.
everybody's always talks like, oh, I'm literally Spider-Man, but nobody actually wants. No, I mean, with great power comes great responsibility. No,
Mhm.
so like, what happened? Why doesn't
With
nobody?
great power comes great responsibility. That's true.
How come nobody? You know, everybody's like, I'm literally Spider-Man, but nobody wants to eat a salad instead of a burger.
But nobody
I'm
wants to
But
guilty
my,
too.
stand up for the
but,
I'm
next
guilty
man.
too. I had an In-N-Out burger the other day.
but
You
my
know?
You really
ancestors
think?
didn't know that. They were hunting.
But we know that now.
Oh, look, new comment.
But-
Brandon needs to come down here to San Francisco soon, bro. You do.
Bro, you do need to go. I feel like
I'm
you'll
telling
love
you, you do.
it.
You
I feel like
legit
you'll
do.
love
I
it.
don't know. I'm just not a city guy. I feel like
No, it's
No,
because you
but
haven't gone.
it's
Yeah, it's
I've
because
been
you
to
haven't
San
gone.
Francisco. I
No,
feel like I
but it's
just,
You
because you
haven't
haven't
been
gone
to the
as an
places
adult,
we've
bro.
gone.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
gonna.
telling you.
I guarantee you, we're gonna go, and you guys are gonna think I'm lame as fuck because I'm just gonna be like, it's whatever.
No, I'm telling
That-
you, you're not.
'Cause
You're
that's
gonna
what-
be
I've been,
'cause-
fine,
okay,
okay,
bro.
do you-
I'll tell you where I've been. I've been to Lake Tahoe. I've been to Costa Rica. I've been to
And they were all
Hawaii.
lame to
I've been to
you?
Hawaii. I've been to Louisiana. I've been to Nevada. I've been all over the fucking
Damn,
place.
this fool
I'm
has
just not
traveled.
really like a.
And then all that was lame to you?
It's not that it's lame. I'm just not a city guy. I feel like I get like, I don't know. I feel like I don't feel like
When you say city, do you mean like downtown?
I
or
just don't.
like-
I'm not really a people person, and everybody always takes that out of context. Like, oh, you don't like people. It's just more like I just feel a little like claustrophobic. Just want a little peace and quiet. Because like for me, it's like vacation or like traveling. It's like
Mhm.
shit I haven't seen. I live in a city. I've seen the city. Like that's for me, right? And
But,
people go, oh,
but
well, you
LA
haven't
is so
seen this
different
city.
though.
Yeah, but like, but the reason it's different is the people, right? And the culture and the vibes. And I'm not really into people.
I don't know.
So I'm kinda
Architect,
like,
actually, like literally, physically, it's different.
yeah, but nothing beats nature's architecture. What's gonna?
But that's why I
what's
feel
gonna-
like
But
you
that's
like
why I feel like you
it.
would like San
what's
Francisco.
gonna-
Dude,
what's
there's
gonna
like so
be-
much nature
There's-
there.
Yeah, but there's city too. I just want to go somewhere where there's no city.
I don't know, bro.
I'll go. I'm not saying I won't
How old
go.
were you when you went to San Francisco?
I just remember the Warriors weren't big shit yet because I was
That
wearing
was a long time ago.
I was wearing a Lakers shit and nobody was heckling me.
Yeah.
Because usually I'll do that and I'll get heckled.
Well,
But
yeah, that was a long time ago.
maybe
though,
I
no?
was like,
because if 2016,
12,
2017,
Okay, then yeah,
Yeah.
you need to go back.
no, yeah, dude, come on, it's not enough. I'm telling you,
I'm
you're
telling
tripping.
you.
I'm telling you.
I feel like you're like I
I
legit.
guarantee. I'm
I-
not saying I won't like it. I
Mhm.
believe you. It's a great place,
Mhm.
but I just and I'll go. But I'm telling you, just I don't know. I'm not really impressed by cities. I get parks are cool and stuff like that, but like I don't know. I feel like my dream is to go somewhere
It's
where there's
'cause-
nobody for miles.
It's because you don't know. It's because you. Don't
I've been to
know.
Yosemite, and that's no city, but there's a ton of people, and that was my least favorite part of it. In fact, I'd say I didn't really like Yosemite because there's so many people. There's
I've
literally
heard. I've
there's
heard Yosemite
literally-
has a lot of people. Yeah.
there's lines to fucking hike, and I thought that was the most bogus shit ever. I was like, there's lines to fucking be in nature. This is bullshit. Why did they fucking close this place? Let the
Mhm.
fucking poor animals like.
Mhm.
Because there's so many signs in there that say like, don't feed the animals because we have to fucking shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible. Like
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
feel like maybe I just won't go. Like just like risk a bear getting shot because I gave it a Snickers bar. Like come on.
Have you seen that they're making that movie Cocaine,
Cocaine
Bear?
Bear.
Have you seen?
Oh,
that
I've
video?
seen it. Yeah, I've seen the pictures of it.
That's
Where it's like,
interesting.
what does it
It's
do?
based
It's
on
like-
a true story, right? Where
Yeah,
a bear
it's based
ate
on a
bunch
true story,
of
yeah.
cocaine.
Oh,
But I mean, it didn't do all the shit in the movie.
Yeah,
It's
it
just kinda
died.
like it died.
immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, 'cause, I
in the
mean,
real story.
They
Yeah.
ate like 12 pounds of
I
cocaine.
thought
Yeah.
I thought it was like they stuffed it with.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
No, an actual bear like ate it.
Yeah, like a
Oh.
bear like sniffed around and like
And it
got a
was
bunch of
like,
cocaine.
and then it overdosed.
Yeah, so it's based on a true
Damn.
story, but the real
like,
story, he
yeah,
died.
he died.
just
died.
No, but I mean, I don't know. I'll go to San Francisco.
Yeah, you never know until you know,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, yeah, never
You
know.
never know
Do you
until
like the
know.
beach?
Yeah, it's cool, but I don't like when there's a lot of people there. I feel like I get like.
I mean, it's always cold, so usually there's.
I like
not
going
that
when it's
many people.
cold or when there's no people because it's like I don't know. I feel like I sound like a stick in the mud because everybody's like, "Oh, you don't like people or whatever," but I'm like,
I genuinely feel like you would like it though.
sure I would. Sure I would.
It's because like you know what's funny? It's because I low key kind of don't like it. And I feel like that's why you would like it.
You don't like it?
Yeah, but it's because like I'm more of a like I like industry and
Mhm.
like you know I'm more of a like a city guy like that. Over there, it kind of gives me like nausea.
Well, in what way? Is it just all the?
The hills and like everything's
houses
so
are
close
together?
together.
See,
That's the only
why-
thing. That's the
why-
only thing
that's why-
about
yeah.
him that he said that he's claustrophobic because
Yeah.
you've said that about San
Yeah.
Francisco.
Yeah, that's
Dude, and I'm
why-
not claustrophobic at all, and that shit makes me like
Like that was one thing when I went to Hawaii is you get. I don't know. It's like I remember when I went because I went to Maui and Kauai separate times, and on one of them there's just one road, like one main highway, and you start to feel like
Brandon is spitting right now.
you start to feel like this is an island I can't get off.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a big island. It's beautiful. What of course, but like
Never been.
I mean, people say you shouldn't go anymore, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
You know where we gotta take him? We
uh,
gotta take him to Mexico.
I'll never set foot in Mexico.
You got to, dude.
Why
It's
not?
your, it's
I feel
your.
like it's weird that there's so many like cartels there, and it's like, and everybody's like, oh well, if you don't like look at them in the eye, they won't, they won't kill you. Well, maybe
Bruh.
I just won't go. Or like
Well, I
the
mean, where we go,
But
I
it's
don't think
also
it's
like that
really
thing
like.
of the thing where like oh the resorts are safe. It's like well because the cartels own them. I don't really want to give them my money. Like
I
what?
get
So
you.
they can behead like an innocent bystander for not paying for not paying $2. Like nah, I think I'm good. I'd rather go to
So it's
Canada.
I've
more of
never
like
been
a,
to
you don't
those
want to
places.
support
Uh,
that idea of
I
like,
guess. And also it's kind of one of those things where it's like I feel like everybody says it's not gonna happen until it happens to you. You
yeah,
know?
because I
So
mean
I
it
don't know.
even happened.
Maybe
It happened to us. It happened to our parents. So
yeah.
like,
You know. So I'm
yeah,
kind of like why put myself in that situation?
Yeah.
yeah.
You know.
I mean, I've literally like, it's a little bit of a
and if
dangerous
it
place.
ever if
But
it
you're an LA boy, like home and grown, bro.
no yeah
You
my
know how to carry
No,
yourself.
yeah, I like I mind my business, man. I know to
Yeah,
mind my business, but
bro. It's funny. My cousin, he came to visit us, and he's like a Marine, and he's like top rank, huh? He's like very top guy. He's been in there, and he told us that even he's afraid of LA. He's like,
really,
yeah. He's like, we're like, bro. I walk around LA, and I'm scared, bro. Like, I make sure I don't wear red, blue, but he's like, it's probably just because I'm not from here.
yeah.
Like, I don't
No,
really
I'm sure that's
understand.
what it is.
Yeah, and I told him too. I was like, it's not that bad. We took him
Um,
to get ice cream in Hollywood, and he's like,
And there were sirens everywhere.
and
he's like,
he's
no,
like,
I'm
am I in
good.
danger? And I'm like, no, it's just the way Hollywood
No,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'd like to. I really want to check out a place that does. Like I said, I know I talk a lot of shit about people, but I'm okay with like leaving people and discovering like, oh, I had no idea what I had when I lost it. I feel like at the very
Mm.
least it gave me a new appreciation. You know.
Mhm.
Um.
Just like when we leave to Mars and
Oh
then
my
we come back.
god.
I'm telling you, it's all
I never leaving.
connected.
I
Cause
never
like, have you
leaving.
heard that shit where like they say people aren't even supposed to be this close to each other? Like it's not natural. Like, and if you, I guess if you really want to look back in time, I guess I can see that argument
What do you
that
mean?
that it's not natural to be like all pressed together and not have nature around you, and that people aren't supposed to
Uh,
be all this close up. But I mean,
Uh, and
I
I
don't
hate to
know.
keep talking about like the elite and shit. That's such an elitist idea in my opinion. Because
Oh, to
remember
be able
Elon
to
Musk even said
to be
he's like I don't want people to have public transportation anymore because it's inhumane for people to be
but it's
like
because he
shoulder to
builds
shoulder.
cars.
But he just does it because he fucking wants to build cars, though. I feel like I do think people need to see nature. Like I think
Yeah,
it's good for
I
you.
I feel the same.
Like that's what I think is cool about San Francisco is that there's a park like
they
right
love
around
nature,
every
dude.
corner.
They,
Yeah, like
yeah.
it's good for you.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. You guys don't get claustrophobic. I feel like sometimes I'm just driving around and I'm like, bro, I feel like I'm stuck. Like I feel like I'm in a cage. I can't leave.
No, because I know I can always leave.
No, I know you can, but it's like
No, I get what you're saying, bro. I get what you're saying. It's just one of those things where it's just like different ways we think
I
of
just don't think
things.
it's me. I just don't. The older I get, I just don't
So
think it's
Stevie,
me.
you would leave to Mars?
I would leave anywhere, man.
You go to Mars?
I'm a
If you had the
drifter.
opportunity, would you go to Mars?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
I've never
I
really
wouldn't.
say no to anything.
I was
I have
born
an open
here.
mind about
So
I'll
everything.
die
basically,
here.
our so in Mars, if we were to go to Mars, would we like live in like a tank?
It's like,
We probably would live like in a bubble for a
well,
little in
yeah,
the beginning
but
stages.
what is it that they're like? They want to drop nukes on the ice caps to melt it so that there's water, and then they start to build an atmosphere. It's supposed to take like a few hundred years, but
Yeah, it's supposed to take a
before
long
we
time,
won't see that.
long
But
before
yeah,
long
our
after we're
time.
dead.
Mm.
But
You know. But I like what he said. Like I was born here. I'm gonna live here. I'm gonna die here. Yeah, Joe, you know where that's from? Are you referencing the story, or
what
I'll
story?
tell you the story. Where my parents are from, there's a giant volcano, Mount Popo. No, I can't say it. Julie,
Oh,
can you say it?
Popocatépetl.
Yeah,
Whoa,
there's a, yeah, yeah.
They call him
There's
Popo though.
there's this ancient. Yeah, they call him Popo.
there's an
There's this.
ancient proverb or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's. Well, it's not an ancient
He's actually.
proverb.
Have you ever seen the guy who's like carrying the woman?
The Mexican,
The
like,
Mexican like
Is that
who's
the one?
carrying
There's
like
a
a
mural
woman.
by your house, right?
Yeah, it
yeah.
is. Yeah,
Is
yeah,
So
that
yeah.
that's what it's based off. It's
Yeah.
based off the volcano and another volcano.
Yeah, but the story
Oh.
goes that when the volcano erupted a long time ago, everybody who was young evacuated the cities near the volcano except the old people. The old people had to be carried out, but a lot of them were like, like really not trying to leave their houses. And it's because they thought of the mountain and the volcano as like a god, as
Yeah.
they're like, It gave me water. I was born here. I lived here. If it wants me to die, then it wants me to die.
They were
Yeah.
like,
I'm
it
gonna
gave me
die.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gave me life. It has its own right to take it away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd leave, but
But Earth, when we're talking about Earth,
I won't leave. That's the one where I'm like, all right. I'd be like, all right, because volcanoes are slow. I'd be like, maybe it's just trying to scoop me on, you know?
It's trying to like give
Because
me
the
time
natives,
to
you know,
leave.
the natives used to do that, right? Where they would burn they would burn forests because some forests need fire to
No,
like.
yeah,
So they
yeah.
would burn it.
Oh,
They'd
yeah.
leave for a while, and then they come back when it's
Mhm.
all cool. So I mean, I don't know.
Maybe that's what we do to the Earth, dude. Maybe
We
scorched
burn
Earth.
the
We
Earth?
Yeah,
burn it?
scorched Earth. See, leave,
But what
come
about
back,
the
see what
elephants and
happened.
the polar bears, man? Feel so bad for polar bears. That's like what a way to go. Just everything melting away.
Just
see
your
Their
shit about it.
world
homes.
Just
melting away.
Literally, just like, oh, well, I guess it's
Their
gone now.
homes.
Hey man, I'm an optimist. I like to believe that one day the Earth is gonna be a paradise filled with every animal you could ever
It'll
think
probably
of.
be like a national park one day in the future.
Yeah,
Like
I think so
it'll probably
too.
be like a national park one
I think
day.
the planet will one day, the entire thing will just be a working, beautiful ecosystem of all the animals that have lived here,
We'll probably
except
live on a.
humans. Yeah,
No, I think
humans will.
some people will probably stay, but I think it should be like they should make a law where they're like, you got to live off the land though if you're gonna stay. I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know.
it's because we're all native, dude. We're all indigenous descent here, so we're all very in tune with the world. But the people who are in charge of all these plans are very far removed from anything of the earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
But
love
I'm an
Earth,
optimist.
nature.
I think it's in human nature to protect.
Just sucks. Polar bears probably gonna go extinct.
They're not, bro.
They probably are.
They're
They
not.
probably are.
How
though.
many are left?
Be an optimist.
Bro, have you seen those pictures where the polar bears are all like
Skinny?
Oh, they're skinny?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's horrible, bro.
Bro, it'll all be okay.
Or like,
Trust.
no, I'm sure it will be, but like, not for polar bears. Like,
No, it will be. Trust. I like
It's
to believe
over.
so.
they're gonna mix with grizzly bears and create something new. But polar bears, as we know them,
Exactly.
gone.
Exactly.
But that just means that they're gone, though. They're still gone.
They're
no
still
one's
gone.
ever
They're still
really
gonna be
gone. In
gone.
my culture, death is not the end.
No.
Well, watch Black Panther once. Watch Black Panther once.
I'm
I'm
surprised you got that
dead.
reference. Okay, but we're an hour in. So for those of you who weren't here at the beginning of the stream, I'll repeat the message I said in the beginning. Uh, Including this one, we only have 3 episodes left here on the TGN network. But like I said, this is not the end. It's just to see you later. Keep subscribing to our channel.
I promise you, we've got something very special coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a surprise.
So keep a lookout.
Keep the support. We appreciate
Yeah.
all the support. We appreciate TGN with no beef. We still love them.
Yeah.
At all.
All
It's
good. All good vibes.
Yeah, all good vibes. Nothing but love and peace to them. But yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's
We won't get too sentimental because we still
Yeah.
have 2 more
Yes,
episodes. We're probably on the
yes.
last one. My sister will like cry or something.
Maybe, yeah.
But
That's for sure.
right now, we're just trying to have fun,
Yeah.
trying to make some good episodes, good conversations. Hope you guys tune in.
Yes.
Leave your peace.
So tune in because this era of the Primos is coming to an end.
Yes.
But a new
Yeah.
one's gonna be born. So
Yeah.
So
Keep an
keep
eye
a
out.
lookout. Make sure y'all keep following us on TikTok and Instagram. And yeah, we'll see y'all next
Yeah.
time. Tune into
Yeah.
our last 2 episodes. They're gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
should we have pretended that there was beef with the good news so that people would have tuned in
Yeah.
to like the last
Yeah.
yeah,
one?
we
the
should-
last,
Yeah. I see he's giving us the nod. Yeah.
the,
He's
the-
like,
the last one would have been like the final.
all right,
Alright,
let's
how
do
do
it
we-
right now.
how do
Let's
we
do it right now.
rewrite
it,
rewrite it.
Read it.
You know, we have there's a
How do you
creative
differences.
creative differences. You know,
I want to go one way. They want to go another way.
yeah.
Guess we gotta go a different way.
yeah. You know, I
Okay.
guess, yeah.
Yeah, but just ending off the episode.
They don't
If
like
you're
us.
watching this, everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we get heavy, but everything's cool. You know,
Yeah.
everything's cool.
I know the world is crazy, but
Everything's cool.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Alright.
But yeah, make sure y'all like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Primos Chidos. Leave a comment and shout out to everyone who tuned in today and left comments today. But yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Bye.